You ever get that feeling in your gut right before something epic happens? Well, buckle up, Oilers fans, because what went down over the last few hours is unreal. We've got highlight reel goals, locker room buzz that could shift the entire season, and a controversy that's got even the veteran analysts scratching their heads. I'm telling you, this is one of those days where you find out who's really wearing the crest with pride. So settle in, hit that like button, and let's dive into this roller coaster, because something big is brewing in oil country. Some games aren't just wins, they're statements. Last night's matchup against the Utah Mammoth was exactly that. A full-on declaration from the Edmonton Oilers to anyone who's been doubting this team. After a brutal first period, down 2-0, and with fans chewing their nails in Rogers Place, something flipped. Maybe it was pride, maybe pure fury. But that second period was an absolute masterclass. The kind that reminds you why this franchise has banners hanging from the rafters. Connor McDavid, the captain, the engine, the heartbeat of the Oilers, decided to take control. And when he does that, there's just no stopping him. 2 goals that made the rink feel electric, like the ice itself was alive. And it wasn't just him. Evan Bouchard was seeing the game in slow motion, threading passes like he had a map of the future. 3 assists, 5 goals for Edmonton in 1 period. 5. Against a team riding a 7-game win streak. That's not just a result. That's a statement to the entire league. Leon Draisaitl and Matthias Ekholm got in on the action too, each with a goal and an assist. Isaac Howard and Ty Emberson finished the job, turning early frustration into a night of pure joy. Stuart Skinner stood tall between the pipes, stopping 20 shots and keeping Utah from clawing back. The 6-3 score says a lot, but the story behind it says even more. Resilience, fire, and proof that this team's got more fight than people give them credit for. The real highlight, though, was attitude. When Ryan Nugent-Hopkins said after the game that the team needed a little kick in the butt, he wasn't kidding. That's the Oilers we know. The ones who don't take being written off lightly. They had to respond, and they did it with brains, grit, and leadership. And you know what? Games like that build something bigger. Confidence. The kind champions are made of. McDavid, who'd only scored once so far this season, looked like he finally dropped the weight off his shoulders. He was smiling again, skating free, and the rest of the NHL better take notice. Utah might have rolled into Edmonton flying high, but they left reminded why this city's feared across the league. When the Oilers pull the trigger, it's like the ice catches fire. And this win could be the turning point, the spark that changes everything and gets the belief rolling again. But the wildest part? That wasn't even the biggest story of the day. You know that feeling when the fan base starts buzzing about needing just one more guy to complete the puzzle? Well, that's exactly what's happening in Edmonton right now. And the name on everyone's lips is Pavel Zacha. The chatter's everywhere. Social media, talk radio, even the bars downtown. The rumor's hot. The Oilers might be looking to swing a deal with the Boston Bruins for the Czech Center. And honestly, this could be the move that shakes up the whole NHL trade market. Zacha's the kind of player who can reshape a line. At 28, he's playing smart, efficient hockey. 9 points in 11 games, solid on draws, logging nearly 18 minutes a night. He's not the flashiest name out there, but he's exactly the kind of piece that gives a contender balance. And after a couple of up and down seasons, the Oilers know how much every little detail matters. Reporter James Murphy says Edmonton's one of 3 teams in on Zacha, along with Vancouver and Calgary. 3 big-time rivals chasing a player who'd fit perfectly as the third center behind McDavid and Draisaitl. Picture that depth. Connor driving the top line, Leon torching opponents on the second, and Zacha anchoring the third with smart defensive play and puck control. That's the kind of lineup that screams contender. Of course, it's not a done deal. The Canucks and Flames have more trade assets to offer. Prospects and draft picks the Bruins might like. GM Stan Bowman's got his work cut out for him, but he's got something in his favor. A solid relationship with Bruins GM Don Sweeney. The two have done business before, and insiders say there's mutual respect there. That could matter. Fans are also pointing out that Zacha wouldn't be a short-term rental. He's got another year left on his contract, which makes him a longer-term fit. A smart move, not just an emotional one. That says the Oilers are done patching holes and are actually building something sustainable for a real cup run. There's even talk that McDavid and Draisaitl are quietly on board with the idea. Makes sense, doesn't it? The grind's long, and spreading the offensive load could be exactly what this roster needs to stay fresh down the stretch. As the rumor mill keeps spinning, the whole city's buzzing. Because if this trade happens, it'll send one clear message: the Edmonton Oilers mean business. And from what I'm hearing, this might not be the only shakeup coming in that locker room. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The McDavid chatter that's been lighting up the airwaves. After insider Pierre LeBrun dropped the claim that Connor might not be giving his all early this season, things got heated. Not because people doubt his commitment, but because LeBrun hinted it might be about something bigger: the upcoming Milan Olympics. And just like that, the debate exploded. LeBrun suggested that McDavid, along with other Canadian stars, might be pacing themselves, keeping the tank full for February when they'll wear the maple leaf. Some called it ridiculous. Others said it made sense, pointing to McDavid's slower start. Before last night's game, he had just 1 goal in 10 outings, unheard of for him. Then, on TSN's Overdrive, the panel compared his start to Crosby's, pointing out how Sid seemed to be playing with more edge while McDavid looked like he was coasting. But is that really what's going on? Or was it just a matter of time before the rocket took off again? TSN's Ryan Rishog posted before the Utah game saying McDavid might explode that night. And boom, 2 goals later, he was right. A statement performance that silenced every whisper about lack of focus. It was like Connor heard the noise and decided to respond the best way he knows how: on the ice. At the same time, this whole thing brought up a fair point about mental fatigue. McDavid's not a robot. He's been carrying this franchise, this city, and the title of best player in the world for years. That kind of pressure wears on anyone. Maybe the slow start wasn't about saving himself for the Olympics. Maybe it was about resetting his headspace. And if that's true, then last night's explosion wasn't just about stats. It was about rediscovering joy in the game. TSN's Darren Dreger tried to cool things down, saying McDavid's still finding his rhythm and usually ramps it up when the team's backs are against the wall. Well, they were against the wall, and Connor came through like a true captain. The Oilers needed a spark, and he gave them one. If there's one takeaway from all this, it's that when McDavid's challenged, something inside him lights up. He thrives on that pressure. Maybe LeBron's comments were the best thing that could have happened, because now, with the fire back in his eyes and the team feeding off that energy, the whole NHL should be on notice. And if you think this week's been wild, take a breath. Because the way things are trending, we might just be watching the Oilers season turn a corner right before our eyes. That win over Utah, the Zacha rumors, and McDavid's resurgence, it all points to one thing. The Edmonton Oilers are waking up. There's energy, purpose, and hunger again. You can feel it in the rink, in the city, everywhere. So here's the question. Is this the turning point we've all been waiting for? Drop a comment, share your take, and hit subscribe, because this ride's just getting started. And trust me, the best is yet to come.